We went to Graceland, obviously, in the guest house, as Leo said, in the room. And basically what I wanted to do and we wanted to do was like the biggest tour of Elvis. Everything Elvis did, everything Elvis did, everything wherever he was, see his house, his original house, see Graceland, of course. Um, we wanted to see his high school, the favorite restaurants he stopped at, St. Jude's. So we basically, anything Elvis related, we did. And we stopped at this place called Kalita. And it's a barbecue place. And it's a place that Elvis would rent out a room and he'd stay there with the guys after the place closed. And it's been there, it's been there it's been there forever, even before Elvis, when Elvis was little. And I was in there, and I knew that Elvis liked the barbecue pizza from Kalita's. So we both, of course, ordered barbecue pizza. And I'm telling you right now, I can see why Elvis loved it. Now, just the crazy thing here, Elvis didn't like barbecue. He was from Memphis. Well, he's from Mississippi, but he lived in Memphis most of his life from the time he was 13 on. But he wasn't a big barbecue guy. Really didn't like barbecue that much. He liked chicken, but he wasn't huge into barbecue. But he loved barbecue pizza at Kalita's. So I'm there, and I'm with Lil, and I say, I got to go see this other room where they got all these Elvis pictures, Elvis memorabilia, and all this stuff. And I walk away, and I go in there, and I just happen to be walking out of the room, and there's a heavyset guy and another gentleman sitting together, and I just speak out loud, and I go, man, there's a lot of history in this place, ain't there? And he goes, you can say that again. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, my family owns the Circle G Ranch. And then he starts talking to me about Elvis and all the stuff at the Circle G Ranch and everything they found and everything they're going to talk about. And the fact that they're going to make a movie about Elvis and different things about Elvis that are. So he's telling me about this movie and who's making it and what it's about and the Circle G Ranch. He's talking about Gladys's Eternal Flame at the Circle G Ranch and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking, only in Memphis could you stop at a restaurant, randomly stop there, just make an out loud comment about Elvis and have someone that owned the Circle G Ranch come out and start talking to you. And we did hear the blues on Bill Street. Yeah, that's true. I don't think there's anywhere we didn't stop. I think we caught everything. We even seen where Martin Luther King was, unfortunately, the hotel he was at when he was shot. Unbelievable place and everything we did. We also stopped at a place called Marlowe's. Marlowe's, here again, is a barbecue restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee, which Elvis frequented many times. I had bought a t-shirt. We went to the gift shop in Marlowe's. Now, we stopped there. It was basically the second place we stopped because we ate at Graceland's guest house first. The next night, we ate at Marlowe's, and it was great. And I was like, man, that's good food. I loved it. I love Marlowe's. It was awesome. I felt like Elvis' spirit was in Marlowe's. It was like everything was Elvis, at Marlowe's. And it was unbelievable. And I was like, the food's great, place is great, atmosphere's great, everything. Man, I'm like, this is an awesome place. And on the last day, I'm like, we got to stop at one last place. I said, let it be Marlowe's. And we did. And I had bought a t-shirt the first time we stopped at Marlowe's at their gift shop. It was a real cool t-shirt. It had a TCB on it. And I'm like, man, I like that t-shirt. And I took it home, and I realized I bought a size too small. I bought a large, and I always buy extra large. And so I said, I'm like, we got to go back to Marlowe's and take the shirt back and get an extra large. So I did. Now, when I went back to the place and got an extra large, I got back to the hotel, back to the guest house, and I realized that all these fake diamonds that are on it that say TCB, unfortunately, it glues to the back of the shirt. So the only way you can get it off, you have to pull it. And I pulled it and I ripped the back of the shirt because it was glued. So there's a hole in it. So Lil gets out her handy dandy sewing and tries to fix it the best she can and does a good job. And I'm still going to wear the shirt because I like it and I don't give a shit. Man, it's TCB, you know, taking care of business in the flesh. And, you know, lightning bolt and all. But it did tear. And it bugs me because I love the shirt. And I'm like, man, I wish I wanted to tore the shirt. And I felt like an idiot. The last place we stopped was Marlowe's. Walk in there, there's this old gentleman at the register. You know, and ironically, there was an older lady at the register the first day we were there that rang us up, and that was the wife of the owner of Marlowe's, who happened to know Elvis when Elvis was in. And the older gentleman, and I just was talking to him, and I said, hey, I just want to let you know that the shirts over here on the wall, and I brought one off the wall, and I walked over to him, and I showed it to him. They're glued, and they're glued together. And I showed him how to glue together, and you got to like pull it apart. And I said, when you pull it apart, I'm telling you, it's going to rip. And he said, what size do you need? And I said, well, but I said, well, this one's not the way as the other ones. And he said, is that your size? And I said, yeah, that's my size. And he goes, well, it's yours, keep it. And I'm like, you can keep it. I said, you know what? Elvis was generous, but he goes, yeah, Elvis was generous, and you know, when I knew him, he was this, that, and the other, and he was talking about him, and he's telling me how generous Elvis was, and he's 82 now, the gentleman that we talked to, so he was younger than Elvis. So he was a man when he began, you know, when he bought Marlowe's in '74, but he was friends with Elvis, you know. Elvis was friends with this guy, and he'd talk to him all the time. Cool, here in Memphis, and I run into a friend of Elvis's, just out of the blue, just not even trying, I just talking to somebody, and boom, friend of Elvis's. I'm like, man, this is too cool. And yeah, he was so cool. So we're walking out of the restaurant, and I literally get all the way into my car. The whole time I'm talking about how cool it was of this guy, and it dawned on me. The man was wearing a TCB necklace, and and it was on display. And I've always wanted to get a TCB necklace like Elvis had. And I told her, I said, you know what? I feel bad. I got a shirt for free. You know, I didn't go in there to get a free shirt. And the guy was so sweet, so nice. You know, I said, and frankly, I want that necklace. You know, a necklace like it. And I want to get you on this TLC, Tender Loving Care. And so we walked back into the gift store there, and I say, I want that necklace, and he has one that he has in a box. He hands me one of his cards, and I buy the necklace, and I tell Lil, go grab you something here. I don't care what you grab whatever you want. She gets this beautiful change purse that's got Elvis all over it. And I told the gentleman, I said, as soon as you get one of these TLC necklaces, give us a call, because I want to buy one. And ever since I got this necklace, I've been wearing it. It's cool, you know, I like it. It's a gold one, you know, and it's TLC, you know, not TLC yet, that's hers. Mine's TCB. And he's just a really, really, really cool guy. And that's the kind of stuff you run into at Graceland. You know, there's just really nice, down-to-earth people. The people in Memphis are awesome people. I mean, the most awesome people you want to meet. Really down-to-earth people. I didn't meet a single person in Memphis I didn't like. However, they can't drive worth shit. I don't know what the reason is, but it's ridiculous. They're either driving like Miss Daisy, slow as could be, putting down the road like a turtle, or they literally are Mario Andretti in the NASCAR team, and they're flying 120 miles an hour. There's no in between with these people. They're either going 50 miles an hour on the highway, or they're going 120. And they can't merge, they can't see, they're not paying attention. They always sit at lights. The light will be green, and they'll be sitting there for 15 seconds. Why? Because they're on their phones, they're listening to music. I don't know what they're doing, but they drag race up and down Elvis Presley Boulevard. We heard them all night long, man. Up Elvis Presley Boulevard. It was crazy, man. But what I will tell you is, yeah, the motorcycles were ridiculous. You know, it took everything in me not to do this because I wanted so bad to do it. I wanted to do it in '78. I wanted to do it in '82. I wanted to do it in late '70s. I wanted to do it in '84. I wanted to do it in '89. I wanted to do it the last time I was there, which was this last week. I wanted to put my name on the wall. But I can't do it, man. I can't get myself to write on Elvis's wall of Graceland. I can't do it. It's a shrine. It's a museum. It's a monument. I can't do it. There's millions of signatures on that wall. I just can't do it. I couldn't get myself to do it. They leave markers on the wall. And that's what killed me. And I don't think Lil realized it. But when she said, hey, look, it's a marker. I'm like, dude, don't tell me that. It was like, you know, it was like Superman, and I was getting the green stuff there. Get it away from me. I wanted to grab it, and I wanted to write something, man. I wanted to write something when I was a little kid, you know. And then Vester comes out and says, hey, what are you doing, kid? You want to come up here and see Graceland? And so I didn't do it. And just out of respect for Elvis, I just don't want to write on the wall. I just can't do it. But Lil has a lot of pictures on her profile, and I'm sure if we could fit more, we will. We probably have 1,000 pictures of Graceland and all the different events and things and all that stuff. And she has a picture on her profile of the place Elvis performed for the first time ever, and she has a picture of the piano where Elvis performed for the last time ever. So we have it from start to finish. We have a picture of Sun Records. I actually have a picture of what Elvis seen when he was standing on the spot where the microphone was, when he was looking into the recording studio, the window of the recording studio where Sam Phillips was. I mean, we got everything. So just in the due time, you will see it all. I am sure that if we do any videos and, of me bullshit and talking and all that good stuff about Elvis, I'm sure she'll post them as, on the videos in the time, in the future. Yeah, I took pictures of everything, man. Everything. So did she. But I will tell you this before I get off the mic and sing my last song, or my only song. We went through Graceland. We went on the tour of Graceland, okay? We did that on probably day 2. I said, let's tour Graceland. I wanted to make sure we got the tour out and did it so she could see the house and see the, all the stuff and the planes and all the museum stuff and everything. Because it's basically Walt Disney for the king at Graceland right now. And we did the tour, and she didn't take any pictures inside the house. None inside the house. Neither did I. Because we had the headphones on, and we're listening to John Stamos tell us all about Elvis, which I already knew all the stuff he's talking about. And I said, Lil, did you take any pictures? She goes, no, I didn't take any pictures inside. I took a lot of pictures outside. And I said, well, that's not too bad, because, a lot of people don't see the outside of Graceland. They don't see the back of Graceland. They don't see, they don't realize that there's 13.8 acres out there, and there's a lot of horses, and there's the pasture, and there's all this other stuff. They just think it's the mansion. And she said, I just didn't feel right taking pictures inside, that's his private house, Kind of like the same reason you don't take pictures upstairs, It's sacred. And then, about 3 days go by, and I go, you know what? I want pictures of the inside of the house. I don't want pictures that some other dipshit took, from different angles. I want to take a picture, and I want you to take a picture of what you've seen when you were at Graceland. And then, people can see what it's like. And so we literally booked 2 more tours to Graceland just to take pictures for you guys. And don't get me wrong, for us too, but I wanted pictures that people, I think of this room, I thought of the room, I'm like, they would love to see this stuff. And, that's the funny thing too. Here we're taking this tour. Now the first time we went through, it's timed. The tour is timed. Hey, you're now looking at the front room with a 15-foot couch. That piano was there. That's the one Elvis played on all the time when he was entertaining his friends. Over there is a picture of Vernon and Gladys that Elvis had in this house back in 1957. Over here is a picture of Elvis that was taken in 1958. And now it's time to look at the dining room. You know, but it's John Stamos talking. And you literally are timed. And then you go into the dining room, and then you go into the hallway, and then you see where Gladys and Vernon's room was, and then you see where his Millie stayed, or his Grandma May, and all that stuff, and all that good stuff. And oh, look at the kitchen, and then now it's time to go into the kitchen. And it's kind of like that, and it's every 30 seconds they got you walk into the different room. Well, when we took the tour again, which I will tell you, the tour is completely different order than it was when I went there. The first 5 times. The first time there was no tour. You just whatever. But when there was a tour, it was in a completely different order. They took you around the bed. You went through the pool room, and you went into the back, living room area with the 3 TVs and the monkey on the table and all that good stuff. And it was a different order. But when we went the second time, we weren't listening to John. We didn't even take the video thing. We didn't even take the headphones. We just had a necklace on that said, I didn't take any video equipment. And so they knew we didn't have any of the video equipment to turn in at the end of the tour. And we literally went in front of everybody. I mean, we just bounced through. We took pictures of everything, nice and easy. But we were way ahead of our tour. And it was like we were on our own. There was very few people in front of us. So there was when we took pictures, it was like we were there by ourselves. And that's the way I liked it. I didn't want a bunch of idiots in my pictures. Hey, look, it's the kitchen, and there's Joey's bald head. That's just what I want to see in my picture of the kitchen. Hey, there's a peanut butter and banana sandwich, and Veronica's big ass. Okay, really, that's not what I wanted to see. But anyhow, we went through the house, and it was like our own tour. And we went out to the outside. When we got outside, we were probably about a good 3 minutes ahead of everybody. And we took all the pictures again, and we got better angles and better views, and it was just a better time. So we got a lot of pictures that you guys will want to see, I'm sure. And if you're on my Facebook or you see my Facebook, you'll probably see quite a few on there too. I think when I got back to work, it was funny because my general manager at my car lot, he's like, hey, Rusty. That's the name I go by at the lot too. He goes, Rusty, I feel like I went on vacation with you. I think I know everything there is to know about Elvis Presley. I go, that's good. And then he made a joke. He's like, the next day he's like, you know what? Because he was a military guy. He was in the Army. He goes, but I didn't see any Army pictures. And I go, well, Vince, don't worry. I'll have them up there for you tomorrow. And so I posted them. What his reaction was, no, that's okay. And I go, nope, it's not. And the next day there was pictures of Elvis in the Army that I took when I was at Graceland. Don't call me out, man. I'm telling you.